Well, there's the Hickory King. And that's all that's left of the garden. We got a few tomatoes and some cucumbers and some squash. The deer have totally annihilated this garden in a short period of time. And this is what we got left. We got some Hickory King corn. And I'm gonna measure this and show it to you. I wanted to show you this because this is just about all that's left. We've had some wind come through, you can see. Took it down. Had some storms. We usually don't get storms like that much in the summertime, but we have had them, and it's really took a toll. It's just been a bad gardening year for me this year. I got started late, and it rained, and I couldn't get anything in the ground, and when I did get in the ground, it drowned. And I planted green beans twice, and finally did get them up and going. And I've got an old doe out here that's had twins for the last 3 years, and I guess all them kids and her and them kids is found my garden. But sometimes it just don't work out, and it hadn't worked out for me this year. And what I'm going to do is I'm fixing to till everything under. Let me show you what I got over here. If you remember, we put these tarps down, and underneath here is cooked. So show you what it's done here. The winds blew this off a little bit. You can see how it's cooked everything under there, and that's what we want. But I'm going to till all this up and till this garden up. And one of my favorite new seed companies that I've discovered is Hoss Tools. And if you hadn't checked them out, you need to. They got some good tools. They got some good seeds, and I bought some sun hemp from them, and we're going to use it for a green manure crop. And what we'll do is we'll till all this up, and sun hemp will grow in the heat. So we'll till all this up, leave the corn, we'll save it, and then everything else is going to go. But till this all up, plant sun hemp in here, and before it goes to seed, we'll till it under. We'll mow it down, and then we'll till it under and use it for a silage crop, a green manure crop, and it'll help this soil for next year. But I'm hitting the reset button on the gardening this year. Let me get my ruler and we'll show you how tall this corn is. All right. That ruler's 3 feet. As you can see it, and I'm not quite to the top of it. I'm about 6'1", so you can add another feet, and there's 3 feet. It's 10 feet. It's 10 foot tall. This corn is, but you can see it's making ears. It's tasseled out, so it's germinating. And anyway, we're gonna get some Hickory King off of it, I believe, if we don't get any more big storms. But kind of wanted to show you that. But today's not about Hickory King. It's gonna be Cast Iron Wednesday tomorrow. And my grandsons are here with me, and they want to do a little cooking. So we're going to cook some German barbecue. I can't say the name. It's a German name. I've had this before, and I've never made it before. 2 weeks ago I made it, and my wife said it's the best barbecue she'd ever eaten. So we're going to cook it out in the Dutch oven on the fire today, on the coals, and we're going to take you along for that. But I got my grandsons, and they wanted to cook out today, so we're going to do that. And I think we're going to do a little fishing and some stuff like that. So come on along. I've got an old saying. I usually say it about rabbits, but it goes for deer as well. If I feed you during the spring and the summer, you're going to feed me during the winter. That's a sweet potato. And that's what the deer have been doing to this. The Crowder peas over here are the same way. This one's came back a little bit. This sweet potato, these sweet potatoes ought to be running and going. Look at that. That's the devastation that them critters can do. But I made this garden over here. There's one of my little friends right there. I made this garden over here, kind of took a chance, and it didn't pay off. They've eat the Crowder peas. As you can see, they've ate the sweet potatoes. The only thing I might salvage out of here is some okra. We got some okra coming, and it's doing pretty good, and they don't touch it. But it was a long shot anyway. But hey, you win some, you lose some. All right, what we got is we got some pork steak here, and I went through and deboned all these, and then we got some pork chops here, some center cuts, and we're going to mix these together in a cast iron Dutch oven, and I'll season these up. What I'm going to season them with is this right here, and believe it or not, I use this a lot. I got this from the dollar store. It's like $1, and it's good seasoning. It's good on anything, but you need to be careful with it because it's a little bit salty. Let me get set up here, and I'll show you how to put these in the Dutch oven. All right, per my MO, if you know by now, you've seen me cook this before. We like onions, and in the bottom of this Dutch oven, we put onions, and we're going to use that for our trivet. Now what we're going to do, we've seasoned our pork, and this is what the difference is. And I thought it was kind of silly at first, but it makes sense. We lay ours in there like that. What they did is they packed it in there sideways like this, and they just layered it. Stand it up. Don't lay it down, stand it up. All the way across. Now we're going to cook this for about 4 hours. So you know when we get done cooking it, but I think what happens is, I thought my battery died. But I think what happens is all these juices come up from the bottom, and it allows it to get in between this meat, and it just does something to it. I can't explain it. I'm not a chef, but there's something about standing this meat up like this that's different. I've seen these guys do this, and I tried it 2 weeks ago. It was supposed to be my cast iron Wednesday 2 weeks ago, and I thought, well, I'm going to try this before I recommend this. But you can see what we did there. They're all standing up. So we got that part done. Pretty easy so far. Let me get some barbecue sauce. Well, let me come back and get you in just a second. All right, I'm gonna cheat a little bit this time. This is what we use. We like head country, but my wife can't take sugar anymore, so y'all didn't see this. This is the best store-bought, to me, barbecue sauce there is. We're just going to pour that on there a little bit, and we're just going to use a little bit of that. But then we use this sugar-free. This is G sugar-free, hickory flavored, and it's real good barbecue sauce. But I like a little zing, and that head country gives it a little zing. But we want a whole bottle of that on there. It's gonna be barbecuey, if that's a word. We'll have to shove this down a little bit to get our lid on there, I think. Get all that goodness down in there. We're gonna put some pepper flakes on top, give it a little heat, and we're gonna take this outside and put it in the put the coals on it, and we're going to let it cook for 4 to 4.5 hours. And we'll go outside here just a second, but that's the preparation for it, and not too bad. All right, we got our coals. We'll set him right back there in that corner. We don't want a bunch of coals, but we want enough to get it going. Ooh, them babies are hot. Sorry about that. Make us a little bed of coals there. Set him on there. And then we're gonna cook him from the top. I think what we're gonna do here is we're gonna...
Oh, we're doing one of those?
Yeah. That's my grandson, Brandon.
I didn't realize you were doing a video.
For right now, we're gonna put those on there like that. Around the edge only. And then we'll come back and put some more on there, I think. Because this is gonna cook for 4 hours. I did this 2 weeks ago, and it was pretty good. So I think that's what we're gonna do right there, just about like that. I'll put a few more down around the bottom, but see you in 4 hours. All right, it's been 4.5 hours, about 4.5. Let's see what we got. But I'm gonna tell you what, I wish y'all had smell-o-vision, because it, man, oh man, it smells good. I could come out just like the other one did last week. So we're gonna get our gloves on. We'll take it in. We'll break it all up. It'll just fall apart when we start touching it. We'll break it all up, and we'll get it in a bowl and show it to you from there. Well, here's what we ended up with. You can see it all just fell apart, and we seasoned it a little bit. Put some a little more chicken seasoning in there. But you can eat it on a sandwich. You can eat it without bread. Eat it anyway. I just gave a bite to my grandson, and he said it was different. Here, tell him it's different.
It's different?
It's not like regular barbecue.
No, it isn't.
he don't want to talk. But anyway, that's kind of what we ended up with. And you can see it cooked about 4.5 hours, and it just falls off, just falls apart. You drain it. We put it in a colander and drained it a little bit, because it does have a lot of grease in it. But it is something different, and we'll probably serve that tonight with some, I think we got some potato salad, and I think we got some collard greens or some turnip greens, one or the other. I don't know which one, but we'll have it. But anyway, there you have it. There's my cast iron Wednesday. I know I haven't been posting many videos. I've been tied up with church and stuff. This COVID stuff's kind of got everything all messed up. But anyway, that's where we're at. But hey, knock it off. Dumb dog. Fred again. But anyway, thank y'all for watching. Like, subscribe, share, comment. Ask me about this. It's pretty good. Check you on the next one.